All right, guys, welcome to the Stay Fly podcast, episode number 4.
Oh, Quattro.
Quattro
Uno,
Podcasto.
Quattro
Astopado?
Podcasto. Tequito, burrito, podcasto.
Quattro.
Quattro.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for helping bring us podcast number 4. Dislife.co is our clothing sponsor. They have some really sweet apparel.
Mm-hmm.
We're both wearing my Ace shirt on. Haven't played disc golf yet today, but it's always a good day when you wear an Ace shirt.
Feeling like an 8.
Yeah,
A
so
little laggy on the...
that's all right.
You guys can hear us, hopefully.
So yeah, check out Stay Fly, or not Stay Fly, check out the Stay Fly podcast. Check out disclife.co for all your casual disc golf clothing needs. If you use offer code UTILITY at checkout, you get free standard shipping from disclife.co.
And it helps support us a little.
Yeah, so if you guys want to support the show and also rep some cool merch, check out disclife.co. We're also sponsored by discgolfcenter.com. They've been sponsoring our channel since probably the second or third video. They're kind of like angel investors in utility disc golf, which is really cool. They saw our promise in the beginning and they wanted to support us. So check out discgolfcenter.com for free shipping on orders over $12, which is anything above like a premium or a basic putter. So yeah, it's pretty sweet. No promo code for them yet, but
not yet.
We really appreciate it.
Everybody has a promo code practically. Get free shipping.
Yeah, they have over 20,000 discs on hand, and like I said last week, I have 4 putters that should be coming to my house. Some burst daggers. I'm pretty planning on next year.
There we go. Got those. Those are our sponsors. We hang out with Dynamic Disc a little bit. Send us sometimes. We got a deputy from.
Yeah.
They help us out. So shout out to them too, because Dynamic. They just grow the sport. But we all wish we did. Super supportive, friendly, really pushing for the professionalism of disc golf.
Yeah. We're also working with some other companies, which is another cool thing about the disc golf community is a lot of the companies, they're not like super competitive in terms of they don't want you to be only working with them. So Dynamic's all right with us working with Discmania, and also doing reviews for like Discraft, which if you haven't gone to it, we just uploaded our Machete review. Today's January 25th. And we just uploaded that right before the podcast. So it's really cool that all these companies are like, hey, we're cool with you working with other companies. We just want you to help share our new products, what we have to offer. So if you see this disc right in front of us here, this is the new Luster DDX.
Luster C-Line DDX.
From Discmania. So they sent us that. I think it just came out last week.
Yeah, it showed up on the doorstep, and I went on Instagram post saying that it was now available.
Yeah.
We got the same day as you guys. We're going to be doing a review on it. I already have a DDX in my bag, a C-Line. Pretty similar with this, but the difference between this C earlier feels a little.
I thought it was more gummy when I first picked it up. Yep.
It feels better because the C-Line can seem a little stiff, slippery sometimes.
Depending on the runs, yeah. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. We're going to do, I think it's going to be more of a look and feel / disc review. We're going to be throwing not only the Luster DDX, but also the C-Line DDX.
Yes.
So we're assuming the flight characteristics are going to be similar, but we might find out that they're different. But we're going to be throwing both of those just to give you guys a good comparison. And we're going to give you a really good close-up of that beautiful plastic. Similar to that Big Z plastic that we use from Discraft. It's got that pearly kind of, it's not metal flake, but it's definitely got some shimmer to it. Pretty sweet.
I love it's a good word for opaque.
Opaque.
I like to
OPAQUE.
opaque away. Tackle. So our stream health kind of stinks. So we're really sorry about that, guys. I do recognize that, and so it's Tanner. We see that not receiving enough video to maintain, such viewers will experience buffering. That's really annoying.
That's all right. Guys. The audio should be fine. I'm not too worried about it.
Hopefully you can hear us.
We're learning. So what's new in the disc golf world?
In the disc golf world? Well, one thing I'm actually looking right now, and I saw this morning, that Road Warrior Paul is going to drastically cut his events.
What does that mean?
So I don't know if you know this about Ulibarri, but he is known to be one of the tour. He's every weekend, even if it's B tiers. I imagine he might stay away from C tier. But that guy is playing in every event it seems that everybody's playing in, plus more. So that's really cool. Actually, one cool thing I know that some local from here, Flex Disc Golf from Idaho, shout out to them over in North Idaho. They are down kind of sort of a disc golf tour because they've been out of town for a while, but they're putting on the Lake Havasu Lake Havasu Open. And I think Paul Ulibarri signed up for that because I hear one of our local pros here going down there. I'm going to go look right now for you. Open players. They got 21 open players. And I see that Paul Ulibarri is signed up. So even though we're talking about him drastically cutting his events, he's traveling over for a C tier in Lake Havasu, which he is in Arizona. And Lake Havasu is in Arizona. I imagine it's not too big of a deal for him. But back to talking about him playing new events, I'll just read you a couple quotes from the Ulta World. Shout out to Ulta World for always giving sweet. It's like a news source for disc golf.
Yeah.
Perfect for us podcasters because it gives us stuff to talk about. He says, quote, "One thing that I'm going to do for the first time this year is I'm not going to play every weekend," which is, as a disc golfer, you're like, why would you not want to play every weekend?
You said you played 43.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's go take a look how many events Paul Ulibarri played last year. He played
because if the season doesn't start until late February, I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year.
He played 38 tournaments. Oh my gosh!
You take off January and most of February. That's like what, 6 or 7 weeks.
It literally starts at the first one was January 21st and 22nd. Shout out January 21st. That's my birthday. Just had it. I'm 24, and he went all the ways, and it was 2 tournaments in February or 3 tournaments in February, 5 and how do you even do 5 in March, 4 in March? And these aren't like, dude, these are A tiers. Like all A tiers. Just traveling, it's crazy. Man.
You must have like a good travel agent. I feel like that'd be a lot to like manage.
Yeah. Well, so he's just known for being one of the road warriors. So he says he's going to drastically cut his traveling that he's going to do. And he says, I have local stuff, I have pro tours now, national tours, majors, and I think I have the Nick Hyde on the schedule possibly. But other than that, I'm going to cut my tournaments almost in half unless it's local.
I wonder what he's doing to like supplement income or anything like that. Do you think he has enough sponsors to do that?
Yeah, I don't think he would be doing that if income was an issue.
Yeah.
I think that he does it for the love of the sport. He was playing so many tournaments because of the love of the sport. I like to play every weekend. I'd play every day if I could.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when you hear him say he's not going to be playing every weekend, you're like, well, that's not very disc golfy. But we're talking about him. He's literally going to like A tiers every weekend.
Yeah.
So that's some news for you guys. Paul Ulibarri, don't count him out. This doesn't mean that he's not going to be a top contender like we saw him all 2017 and have for the past couple or few years. And I feel like he's only improving. So let's see if this break helps him.
Yeah, one of the things I really like about Paul is there's a instructional video that I watched about a month ago that he talks about having consistent release angles and how your reach back and your follow through really dictate the angle of release on a throw. And it's not something I thought about until I watched his video. And then afterwards, I feel like my game was like significantly more consistent, just focusing on like where my arm starts on my backswing and where it ends in my follow through. Mm-hmm. Just having really consistent release angles. Before then, I mean, you just kind of like say, oh, I want to throw a hyzer. But when you focus on your reach back and your follow through, you basically will release it, depending on your grip, on that exact angle. Mm-hmm. And if you watch slow-mo videos of the pros, after I watched that video, I started watching like Jomez or Central Coast again. And whenever they throw like a big hyzer, if you watch their reach back and their follow through, whatever their arm path is on, that's exactly what the disc is released on. So it's a really good tip. I think he's a really smart instructor in terms of disc golf.
He is. He's not taking that approach to disc golf just willy-nilly. Like, it's very thought out, like, talking about the angles, even down to each throw. He's like, I'm going to throw a hyzer, bringing his arm through on that hyzer.
Yeah.
Angle, not just like, oh, I'm going to throw a hyzer, and then just throwing.
And it really helps with like hyzer flips, not just where you just pump a hyzer up into the air, into the stratosphere. Hyzer flips where you really have to have a consistent angle depending on how flippy a disc is. That's where I noticed a lot of improvements in my game, where it's like, oh, this thing's going to turn over if I throw it flat, so I need to throw it on like a 45-degree angle.
And you're conscious of that angle because of watching Ulibarri's video.
Yeah. Sticking with that, some knowledge. I don't think we've talked about the, what's his face? The disc golf instructional series.
I'm looking at it right now.
You are?
Will Shoestrick.
Yeah, Will Shoestrick.
Sorry, Will.
Yeah. He has a really sick logo. He's pretty happy about the logo. It was on a birthday cake or a celebration cake. But
it's
the quality,
super professional looking.
Yeah, the quality of that instructional video is like mind blowing.
Yeah.
He shows back behind the scenes footage of the studio they used.
Oh, wow.
And getting into like the filming
media side
of disc golf, just seeing like him being in that studio, I'm like, man, he dropped some serious coin to bring us such a high quality product to disc golf.
Yeah, I wonder if he had gotten funding or if Prodigy's a part of this. I know that he is invested in Prodigy.
Yeah. I think
it just looks like
more him. It doesn't seem like Prodigy's like
for sure. When I said was Prodigy with it, I meant like, are they like, yeah, we'll like help you out like with this funding, because like it's super professionally done. Being in the studio, it's not standing in a field, talking in front of a camera. It's like full on form breakdown
and like graphics overlaying and like talking about like breaking it down like in the middle of the reach back. I haven't seen the.
It costs money. That's how good it is.
Yeah, it does cost money. I haven't seen the actual video. Maybe we could do a review on it if he sends us a little.
Yeah, we could just like do a reaction video.
Yeah, we can do like how this improved us.
I just want to watch the whole thing. I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I just want to see the whole thing for the value that I feel like it's going to bring to disc golf for a beginner, especially.
It seems like he's been doing a lot on his own time with disc golf. It seems like he's always doing something with Prodigy, getting new baskets or whatever.
Yeah.
Setting up courses. I know he was doing a lot of that too.
He's super involved with Prodigy because I think he's invested in it.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to see him focus more on the sport this year. I know the last couple of years we haven't seen him as much
as
on
a player?
Lead cards. Yeah, as a player.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm about to talk about. I have another article from Ultra World that I want to talk about him playing, and that he's going to be skipping the Las Vegas Challenge and the Memorial this year. And we all know he's been dealing with that injury. It was a shoulder injury that he had. For a long time, and he's been like rehabilitating it. And it's been a while. And here's a quote from him right now. The Tennessee Pro relayed that he is, quote, 100% there in terms of his mental game, but wants more time to build up his throwing motion after 10 weeks off. Now, when I read that, I was like, but weren't you just making an instructional throwing video?
Yeah, well, I mean,
of like throwing, but he wasn't like ripping drives.
Yeah, and he probably filmed that months ago.
Yeah, exactly. If they're talking about now, it was filmed.
Yeah, if they got to the point where they were able to sell a product, he probably filmed that last year this time, I would guess.
During those 10 weeks off, that he focused on strength training, physical therapy to heal shoulder impingement.
Impingement?
Yeah, a shoulder impingement. Yep. Stay in school, everybody. Caused by tendonitis in his rotator cuff. So I know that had been bothering him because he was dominant, like before. It was kind of before we started playing and getting into it.
Didn't he win World in like 2004?
He's a world champion. I felt like I was like, what? Are you kidding me? But he might be a 3-time USDGC champion. Is that real?
That could be true. I don't think he's won.
I'm gonna look
Worlds,
it up before I say that.
But he's definitely won the US championship.
Type in on Google. Is Will Shoestrick a...
I hope one day that if somebody Googles our names, we pop up with like all these accolades.
Shoestrick 3-time winning the 2000. So he won the 2010 USDGC. He won his second US championship. This was before. So I think he's the 3-time. Anyways, let's the 3-time USDGC world champion. So anyways, he was in his prime, and he was doing that when he was like under 21, and he was like right in his 20s, early 20s and stuff. He looks still like a young guy. I'm not sure how old.
Yeah, it's funny going back and watching in this off season. Sometimes I get bored and I just watch older, like 2010, 2009.
I enjoy those more.
U.S.
actually.
Championship videos or whatever.
I enjoy them more.
And seeing how young Nico looks and how young Will looks and how young Paul looks, it's funny. Like these guys are still the names of the sport, but they've been doing this since they were.
Mm-hmm.
Little, like in Eagles' case, little eaglets.
Little eaglets.
Yeah.
Little.
Like Eagle's still only 20, right?
Yeah, he's like 19 or 20.
Like I got into disc golf when I was 26.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird seeing like, there's a reason why these guys are so good because they've had a disc in their hand since they were probably 10.
It's the longevity that they bring to the game is their dedication. But it's like, yeah, like we were doing this stuff back then and they're still doing it. One more quote from Will Schustrick is, I was a top 3 player 2 years ago, and I wanted to get back to being number 1 player in the world, so I'd play 4 rounds a day, putt 1,000 times, go to the field. I mean, honestly, it was honestly a 10 to 12 hours of throwing, Schustrick said in the article. I wanted to just get better no matter what. Once you reach the top level, you're always looking for more and more and more, and your body can only stand so much. So it sounds like he overworked. He was like such a top player, and wanted so much more, and drove himself to injury and took himself out of the running for a couple years almost. I haven't seen the same Will that we used to all know.
Yeah, if you in the training world, that's called overtraining, and it's if you're coming from like the personal training background, if you're wanting to get gains as far as like strength or technique with it, whether it be a sport. Rest is almost as important as the training, and a lot of people don't focus on that. It's basically there's like 3 things you want to focus on is diet, rest, and training. And it sounds like Will said, I can throw for 12 hours a day and putt 1 million putts, trying to get that, like some people call greasing the groove when it comes to learning new motor mechanics, where you just do something so repetitively that it becomes second nature. So it sounds like he was trying to do that, but you have to, when you're training something, you get diminishing returns after a certain point. You don't want to train past fatigue because then you're just reinforcing bad habits because you're training fatigued, right?
And you're not doing good form by then, and you're probably going to injure yourself.
Yeah, so if I were to like help, he probably doesn't need any help, but if somebody were to try to get better, a lot of times you want to try to replicate in training what you're going to find during your athletic activity. So, I mean, they're shooting par 60s or whatever. So if I was going to go out, if Will really wanted to get better before, not saying that he should do this now, he probably already knows it, I would say don't throw over 100 throws during a round. That makes sense. Yeah. Because at a certain point, when you get to hole 18, you've thrown 200 throws because you've done 3 drives off each hole. You're going to get to a point where you're so fatigued that maybe those practice rounds where you're like, oh, I threw this overstable of a disc down this hole because it worked. When you're in the tournament, you're going to be more fresh because you haven't thrown 100 throws before that. Does that make sense?
No, totally. And I think that is something that Will himself way possible.
Well, I mean,
by overworking himself.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, there's a mindset where I'm not going to get outworked, and that just tells you how good of a work ethic Will has.
He literally outworked himself.
Ran himself to the ground.
And that just comes to show what it takes to be a 3-time USDGC champ, to be a world champion, to be where, I don't know about you guys, but we're all disc golfers would wish to be one day, to be a world champion or the United States champion. It takes that practice, that dedication, but you can also overdo it in a
which is funny because I don't know about you, but last year I didn't notice this like trend of disc golfers training, but like this summer, like Disc Golf Strong is getting huge on Instagram. It seems like this Dynamic Disc has really supported them. They've posted some videos on their channel about some good core exercises. Ricky Wysocki is working with the Disc Golf Strong guy. I'm sorry, I don't know his name off the top of my head. Paul and Hannah, I know Hannah has a similar, I think she has an exercise science degree similar to me.
They're super into fitness.
They're super into fitness, yeah. You're starting to see all these top pros actually take their off season seriously, and they're working on a strength and conditioning program that they will slowly wean themselves off of during the tournament season. So I think a lot of the younger players can really take some notes when they're not in disc golf mode doing tournaments every weekend. You not only need to be practicing on form or putting, but you also need to be trying to strengthen your your body.
Yeah. That was well said. I like that.
So let's get into a little bit more not so serious note. Let's get into some.
But okay, well, how about one more recap? I'm really excited to see Will Schustrick come back. I think that if he knows what's best for himself, and if he's not going to play the Memorial or the Las Vegas Challenge, then that's the right decision.
Yeah.
And I just want to see him come back strong. I want to see how successful DGI is going to be, the disc golf instruction. I want to see. It would just be cool. It would be kind of like, which we were talking about earlier, like that Josh Anton comeback.
Yeah. Well, I know Will got married.
I want to see him come back from he was at the top, he went down, and now he's going to come back. He's going to show that back like I never left.
Yeah, I'm back.
No. All right, sweet. Let's move on. You want to hop into Nick's clips?
Yeah. So which one do you want to start with first?
Let's do the first one. The first one was let's do the kid.
The kid?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So here's your little intro song. Da-na-da-na-da-na. Nick's clips. Bow. Okay, cool. We're gonna get real intro songs for all of our segments eventually, but for now you get to hear me sing. La-da-da-da-da.
Slow whenever we.
I'm gonna get off the internet on here actually, off of my laptop.
Sorry guys, we're trying to reload.
I'm gonna shut my internet off. Okay, so Nick's Clips is a segment where we're gonna bring you video clips that we found around the internet, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and by the way, we are looking for user clips or viewer clips. So if you have any sweet disc golf videos, if you made a huge putt, if you nailed the first tree and went 50 feet behind the tee pad and had a longer drive on your second shot, anything funny, anything serious, anything disc golf related, send it in. We'd love to do it. So
this is from Dalton Dirty Discs.
This is from Dalton Dirty Discs
on Instagram. That's his YouTube handle.
Okay, shout out Dalton Dirty Discs. And this is a segment where we show sweet videos. So we'll be watching it here, and you'll be seeing it there. We'll also be linking the videos, possibly in the YouTube description. But so check this out. Now, have you ever been on the disc golf course and your buddy comes and he brings a buddy, his buddy's got a kid, and you were ready to have a fun, casual round. Kid. I know it's his kid.
I'm all for bringing
kids to have a fun, casual round, and then the kid's making a little bit of noise, maybe when you're putting or driving, and it gets on your nerves, and then you crush a drive, and you have a chance for an eagle, and then this happens.
Yeah, eagles are not. You can't find them very much because most courses are par threes.
I've never had an eagle.
I don't think I played. I don't know. Not too many par fours. I almost eagled Sakani.
Mm-hmm.
The hole 8 and the long.
I've had opportunities, 60-foot opportunities.
Yeah, nothing parked or anything. So if you want to watch on my
Simon Lizotte drop in eagles. All right, let's check it out.
So sorry for the slow ears out. We're trying to get you audio on these.
So this guy, it looks like a wooded course, probably about a 40-footer. Kid is standing patiently watching. But he's lining it up.
You want to go fishing one day?
Oh, God. So this guy's lining up a putt. Here's what's going on. This guy's lining up a putt for about 20 seconds. And the kid's silent the whole time until the last 2 seconds when he's in his downswing for his putt.
Oh,
he jumps and he nails the front cage for his eagle.
Well, he misses the cage at all.
Oh, does he? Does he air it? Sorry, I couldn't see.
But the kid stares at the camera watch this. I'm going to mess up his putt.
He's about to putt. The kid looks around. He's like, screw you, Dad. Miss. Boom. Airballs his eagle putt because of we'll say it's because of the kid.
Yeah, well, and then you can hear the guy in the background go, "Oh God."
Oh God. Exactly. Like he's dealt with it 100 times before. God. Anyways, that's just pretty comical to us. I've definitely been out on the course and somebody brought their kid and I was like, I didn't know I was coming to do daycare today as well. Because I'm trying to have people be quiet when I putt. Anyways, besides that,
we just only has 171 views. I feel like you guys need to go give Dalton Dirty Disc some love and find this video. Yeah. In a wooded, he's wearing flannel. He's in a wooded course.
He just airballs this 40-foot putt because the kid just makes a noise right when he's about to putt for eagle. I don't have an eagle, so I can only feel his pain, or I can only imagine his pain.
All right.
That was pretty funny. All right, on to the next Nick's clips. Guys, these are supposed to just be fun. If you don't like the video, sorry. We'll have another one next week.
Yeah, send us in what you think is good because
Exactly.
we think these are hilarious.
Exactly. So here's another one. I'm just gonna title this one "Bad Throw Gone Good."
Bad throw gone good.
Bad throw gone good. Bad throw gone good. So we got a guy, looks like a little wooded hole that has some elevation dropping down to it. I would say it looks to be about a 300-foot hole. Oh gosh, dude.
Bounces off a tree near the basket. It like hyzers out, misses the basket, hits a tree, and then ricochets back in the basket.
Yeah. So imagine this. He's standing at the top of the tee pad. It looks like to have about a 20-foot elevation drop down. The 300-foot hole that doglegs to the left for probably the last, I would say, 70 feet. So he pipes it down with a hyzering disc. It's cutting inside like too close. So he stops and turns around, doesn't even watch it. And it comes in, boom, smacks off a tree probably about 10 feet to the left of the basket, like below the basket, and jumps back up into the chains, and he gets an ace. Now, that is super sweet because I said bad throw gone good because he walked away. He was like, dang it.
Yeah, he like immediately throws it and he's like, it's down there, I'm putting.
Then he hears it. Woohoo! His
You can
friends
hear
are
him
freaking
screaming.
out.
That's pretty funny. So the one thing that I noticed, Nick, is there's somebody obviously sitting down by the basket filming the catch cam.
Yeah,
And I know that most of our casual rounds, if we're acing, we're getting that video from behind. So not only does he have a behind shot and a catch cam,
Yeah,
but
throw in a
it
catch.
looks like he's not reaching for his bag after he makes it. It looks like he's reaching for another disc. So how do you feel about people maybe throwing multiple discs on a hole just to try to get a nice shot on camera? Maybe not like a legit ace.
That's exactly it. If they are going to claim it as a legitimate ace, and you set up a tripod, we talked about this last podcast, and you set up a tripod, and you hit one, and then you post it and say, I got an ace today. But really it was your 12th throw from your bag, and you got a throw in on camera. Okay, so let me restart. If you claim it as an ace and you set up tripods and it wasn't your first throw and you cannot put it on the scorecard, it wasn't an ace, in my opinion, I don't think that's cool.
It's a cool
I don't
shot.
think, are these guys trying to pass it off as an ace? What is the video titled?
The title of the video is Unbelievable Disc Golf Hole-in-One. So they're not really saying it's an ace.
But what is an ace? An ace is a hole-in-one. I feel like that's just like a
Let's-
different adjective to describe ace.
An ace, yeah. Let's go to the description. Our internet wants to load.
I still don't want to like hate on this video. It's still a sweet shot
It's
regardless.
a crazy shot.
Bouncing off the tree, like discounting it and it going in. These are what we call phenomenons.
Disc golf phenomenon.
Disc golf phenomenons. Yeah, we got a nice laggy computer for you guys. But sweet. So, in my opinion, if you're passing it off as an ace and it wasn't your first throw, it's not an ace to me. I call them cubby aces. I got plenty of them, but I definitely don't sign my own discs or write on the basket or post it and say, hey, look at my ace number 36. But if you're just saying, hey, like check out these sweet throwing compilations or just like trick shots, call it a trick shot or just call it a shot, sweet disc golf shots.
Yeah. This one, the description of the video says, caught on tape, very lucky hole-in-one at Petakoski Disc Golf Course.
Mm-hmm. It
The
definitely
guy's
looks
name
like it's in...
looks like he's from
Germany?
Switzerland or Sweden or our friends
Europe.
from across the pond, it looks like.
Our European friends, which they have, gosh, I want to go play over in Europe so bad. Like, I just want to go to Finland and play in, like, Nokia and, like, play the Beast and the course.
Maybe we'll get invited over there and do commentary.
Maybe, because I think we're so funny.
Yeah.
That was a sweet ace, guys. And then we got one more last video for you. We're going to call it an ace. I'll give it to him. Because I don't want to discredit people. Like, what if somebody does is go put a tripod down there?
This is an ace, though.
Because they want to get an ace on camera and they do their first throw and they did it. That very possibly could have been his first throw. I don't want to discredit him. I'm skeptical because I never run down to the basket and put a camera down there.
Unless you're on Central Coast, Jomez, or down the road, utility disc golf tournament coverage, I don't trust catch cams.
Nope.
Even in our videos of 6x6, don't trust catch cams.
Catch cams.
All right. So you want to let this is our last clip from
last video. Looks like a
J.
shorty
Flo
of another
Flores
tight wooded hole.
001.
Oh, here, you want to go for it? I say this looks like a short wooded hole.
Throwing downhill. Disc comes in. Drills dead center pole
Dead center low pole, like that in the chains. So like it looks like it's like basket, like cage height.
Yeah.
Right dead center, and it bounces out, and it looks like a putter shot.
Yeah. So here it is again.
Didn't have had that much speed on it, and it's in a disc catcher too.
Yeah, I mean, disc catchers are supposed to catch discs, right?
Aren't they supposed to catch discs? Is that why they're called disc catchers?
I don't know. It's coming in pretty hot.
It's coming in hot, but so he pipes it down there. It smashes the chains, and this is another video with a tripod camera set up behind the basket.
Yeah, what's up with all these tripod behind the basket shots, guys?
Either you guys are super patient and you're down and you're willing to run down, put a tripod, and then run back up, and hopefully you get it, or you throw multiples.
Fine.
Still, to each his own. If you want to get a sick shot on camera, dude, I get it.
So this is going to lead us into, I think, our Tanner's topics.
Yeah.
So let's go into Tanner's topics.
Did we shout out those guys on the last video?
Yeah.
Okay.
JFlo Flores 001
for the chain out?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. Well, hey, thank you for everybody that let us use their video clips because we didn't ask them. We just put it on here and give you credit because who wouldn't want to be on the Stay Fly podcast?
Yeah.
We'll deal with those legal issues when they come.
Yeah, so send us your clips if you guys want to be on our podcast.
Mm-hmm. I'd definitely rather post viewer sent in clips than
us having to search.
Yeah, this having to search. I find all these, and Tanner finds these. We just do it from what everyone else does. YouTube polls, Instagram Explore page.
Yep.
Anything like that. Facebook. Facebook, not so much, but I got a couple off Facebook. So sweet, guys. Yeah, so do you want to transition into Tanner's topics? Top topics?
The top topics from Tanner.
Saber, Sabre.
So today's Tanner's topic, going off that last video, that disc hit dead center chains, and I know the goal in disc golf is to land in the basket.
Okay, let's call it the cage.
The cage. It is, yeah, the cage.
Just so people don't think the basket is the whole thing.
Okay. So I know this was an issue last year, and I felt really bad for Ricky Wysocki because it seemed like he had the most issues with disc golf baskets last year. Ledgestone.
Oh.
They were the Discraft baskets.
They were the DGA like Mach 2s, 4s.
Yeah, something that doesn't catch discs.
They were like those they were the rolly DGA baskets that everyone knows and hates. Sorry, DGA.
So, how do you feel about baskets that don't catch discs as well as, say, disc catchers or, or veteran baskets? Yeah, I've never put it on those, but they seem like they catch most of the putts that should hit dead center chains.
Yeah. I am annoyed by them. I don't like them, but everybody has to play on them. I mean, if I'm putting on if I'm playing in a tournament and there's DGA, the older DGAs that the chain stars that seem to knock, you hit pole and come out half the time and there's gaps in the chains that are the width of your disc. Everyone has to put on that. And it may seem annoying to have to change your putting style, and I would hope that we could eventually move in the direction of having a standard basket that either there's 3 standard baskets approved, the Prodigy ones, which are really nice, and they have the cross chains in them. The disc catchers are veterans, only for we just get this standard going so we get away from this, and you run into the issue with the older baskets.
Yeah, well, I was listening to the Disc Golf Answer Man, and they were going over this, and one of the things they were talking about was, say that you have disc catchers be everything. Every tournament has to have, if it's a PDGA sanctioned event, you have disc catchers. But say a tournament or a course in town, say Downriver, we have old Mach 5s or something.
They're old DGA Machs as well.
Yeah, so say that we wanted to have a sanctioned tournament in town, we would have to go buy $3,000 worth of new baskets. Yeah, you know what I mean? Also,
you can't ask that of people or courses.
Yeah. Also, what if, say, Discraft sponsors a tournament like the Ledgestone Open? I think they have sponsored that one in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Why, if they're sponsoring the tournament, why would they want to have a competitor's basket be the basket that people are throwing into?
Totally, they wouldn't. And Ledgestone, well, an argument with Ledgestone is that they're all portable baskets in Ledgestone.
Well, I'm just saying, in general,
totally.
If MVP wants to sponsor a tournament, but then there's veteran baskets everywhere, it doesn't really line up with the person who's putting the most money forward to promote the tournament.
I agree 100%.
So they do have standards as far as what should be met for the the baskets, and I believe that all the baskets have to be PDGA approved. I just think
they do. Baskets do have to be PDGA approved, and that's what I'm saying. I want to move to a more towards a standard than like, yeah, it has a basket or has a cage and chains and a pole, so like it could be approved.
What do you think would be the best thing to kind of standardize with a basket? Should it be like the weight of the chains, like how the chains are laid out in the basket, like an inner set of chains that drop straight down, that connects to a little ring? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that should be the standard, and then you can do whatever you want to the basket as long as it meets the height and width requirements? You can do whatever you want with the band. You can put whatever. What do you think is going to be the thing that makes
like a basket a standard basket?
Yeah, catch everything.
Well, personally, I see Prodigy they have like crossed chains inside of their sweet spot, they call it. You're not going to get any of those like slide throughs and whatnot. So I would say the gauge of metal used for the chain.
I think that's a big thing.
The weight of the chain, because sometimes you'll go tug on a basket and you're like, what?
Yeah,
these
are paper
clips?
Yeah.
Like what is going on here? So the gauge of the steel used for the baskets, I think dimensions wise, like the amount of space in between the cage. I don't think this would add to catching, but we're talking about how are we going to move towards more of a standard basket. Mm-hmm. That's not saying that other companies can't make these baskets. They just need to meet the standards, right?
Yeah.
So it would be number of chains. I think they all should be dual layered, or, to have like
inner set and an outer set.
Exactly. Yeah. And the gauge of steel, the distance between the band or the top and the bucket and the top of the bucket. And I think that's it. But when you switch from a DGA and you're playing on a basket, like for instance at Downriver here, it has like less chains, they're a little thinner, and you'll hit center pole and bounce out a lot.
Yeah.
But it will catch your 80-foot putts too. It'll catch your ace, like it will. This is the other thing. That's not what we're saying. Is that
what I've noticed with the putts in Ricky's example? He putts very hard nose down, which I think kind of like pushes the chains in a way that will push the disc flat back out. Does that make sense? Where it comes in
down. Well, nose down would hopefully like flip forward, right?
Yeah, but when the chains unslack, and push back out, I feel like it pushes it straight out. So I feel like his putting style he putts really hard.
That's hard.
He hits dead center chains, and he puts nose down, which is
too accurate and powerful.
Yeah. So I think the problem with the baskets, what were those baskets?
Just like more older DGA.
It seems like the baskets. Center chains.
There's other ones too.
There's not a lot of resistance before it hits the pole. So, what are the baskets that we have at Upriver? Sakani. We have the crossed.
Dude, Sakani has Vortex baskets. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but those things have a ton of chains.
They have weight to them. You can putt as hard as you want.
You can putt as hard as you want, but if you putt too soft, it will push you back out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Vortex. I haven't seen them besides at Sakani, which is interesting because it's one of our home courses. So it's kind of cool. Actually, we have 3 separate baskets. There's like DGAs at the old DGAs at Downriver. There's disc catchers at Highbridge and Vortex at Sakani. So back to what you're saying about how we can move towards that standard. Like I said, the dimensions, the gauge, and the amount of chains, I think needs to become a standard. And especially if you're going to have a temporary course and you're going to put an extra 9 holes. I know this happened here, for example. This happened here at a tournament down at Highbridge a couple years ago. It's called the Latah Creek Open. Anyways, it's a great tournament run by Nancy Morgan, and that's Steve Simmons. He's kind of an old legend guy around here. He doesn't play Legends. He's not that old.
Okay.
But he's a really cool guy. Stimpy Ridge. Check that place out too if you come to Spokane. But they ran a tournament and they added an extra 9 holes, so it was 1 round of 27 each day. Now there's the 18 with the disc catchers, and then they used this land down below, and it turns into this thing like, hey, they're using baskets from 9 random people. And some dude has a sweet inner and outer chain disc catcher, portable disc catcher, and another dude has a Costco basket. And like they threw it in there.
It's crazy.
And I remember specifically being like 8 feet away for a birdie, like boop, pull back out. And like I don't even think it hit any chains. Like that's how little chains there were on this basket. So I think the standard even needs to be carried over into temporary courses as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I want there to be a standard, because that was a thing. We were like, what? Like, why are we putting on these baskets? Like, these aren't consistent. But then you can be like, well, everyone has to put on them, just like I said earlier. And I get that. But I would rather to be able to trust the equipment that's being used. Sorry about that. I'd rather trust the equipment that's being used and not have to change like my putting style, or like putt lower or softer. But again, that might be part of the game too.
Yeah, and if you have a standard like that, do you think that gives enough variability between manufacturers that say...
So they can compete with each other?
Yeah, so somebody's like, oh, well, why would I buy an MVP basket when I can buy one from Dynamic for $20 cheaper and it's going to catch exactly the same?
Totally. So I think that the standard would...
Maybe manufacturers would just try to figure out how to meet the standards.
I think there would be a minimum. A minimum that needed to be met, and then they could take their creativity, like Prodigy does with their like sweet spot like X in there.
Do you think that like maybe companies could get a little crazy with the design of the baskets as far as like doing X chains or a set of inner chains or a lighter set of outer chains, stuff like that, but then they have a tournament basket where if they want to be in the PDGA tournament, they have to have this one basket which is going to be like more robust, more sturdy. But then if you want to make a private course and you want to have a vortex basket that has horizontal chains instead of just vertical chains, you can buy that too.
Totally. I think that
really what we're getting
would be
at,
expensive.
Yeah.
I think that disc golf is also such a new sport. We haven't had those, like the less technologically advanced baskets. It's not even technologically advanced, but the older baskets are still in circulation because, of course, disc golf's new. Like, it's from the 60s. Could have been before that, but the 60s and 70s is when I feel like it started to gain.
What we're saying is we want tone poles. That's the standard.
Tone poles is the standard. Anyways, that's kind of our discussion about baskets. Love them, hate them. I think there should be a standard for an amount of chains, distance, gauge. I just think there should be a trustworthy standard that I can putt and trust that this basket 9.8 times out of 10 is going to catch my putt.
You think that should just be something for PDGA sanctioned events, or if it's just like a normal, like mom and pop fun tournament in town, do you think it's okay to do other baskets? I
think for PDGA sanctioned events, there should be a standard, and it will eventually trickle down into just becoming the disc golf standard. Yeah. Over time, I think that would happen.
And I think they have a standard right now, but since it seems like kind of a loose standard, maybe they need to buckle down as far as like you need to buy, I'm not sure what kind of chains you can buy, but like for bolts, it's like we need a number 5 bolt or number 5 chain for the inner and a number 4 for the outer. Yep. And it needs to be this long and have this much slack. Totally. Or this many links.
I think it will get there too. I just think disc golf needs more time, and the fact that we're talking about it, hopefully maybe the right person hears us, maybe the PDGA is listening.
Yeah, or really me and Nick are going to come out with baskets is what we're getting at. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so that's Tanner's topics. We want to know what you guys think, so in the comments section on this video on YouTube, or...
Let us know your favorite basket, why you like it, and let us know your least favorite basket and why you don't like it.
Yeah, let's get some hate going.
Let's just get some people fired up. Okay, guys, so... kind of a shorter podcast today, so we're going to end up wrapping it up. We kind of talked about our sponsors earlier, Disc Golf Center, Discmania now for the media team that we're on.
Yep. Disc Life still Clothing. Helping us out too.
And yeah, guys, that's a lot of fun. I like sitting here talking about disc golf.
Yeah, one of our goals for me and Nick this year, the other day we kind of sat down and brainstormed. If you follow our Instagram, you kind of saw us do that one day. I think we were talking about wobbly putts. I'm not a big fan of wobbly putts, unless they're outside circle 2.
This always wobble, but
yeah, we like smooth putts. What was I getting at?
We're talking about the direction we're heading.
Oh, yeah. So we want to work with more disc golf companies. So if you guys have an in with a pro from, like, say, Prodigy or MVP or Gateway, me and Nick really want to show you guys, like, what there is out in disc golf. So if you have something that you want to have us review, or if you have an in with the company, we're going to be trying to reach out to some bigger companies, some different companies this year. We want to have a very good variety of disc reviews on our channel, and we want to be able to like have some in-depth knowledge on basically everything out there in disc golf world. So, if you guys like something, give us a shout out and tell us what you want us to review. We have quite a bit on our list already because there's so many discs to review, and a lot of new ones are coming out every day.
We have like a list of things we want to do, new projects, improvements. As you can see, we need to improve the stream on this thing because I think it's internet. I might just have to start paying more for internet.
Either internet, or maybe we just need to hardline it in, or my gaming laptop that I bought for this is not
I'm going to go straight hardline it right into our veins.
Yeah.
Ethernet.
All right, guys. So that's episode 4 of the Stay Fly podcast. We really appreciate you hanging in there as we try to get better and better at this. Episode 3 is not out yet on YouTube. We had some audio issues last week, some video issues as well. I tried to make the stream better, and it kind of made it worse. So I have the audio, which sounds good. So I'm going to just kind of add some photos and upload the videos that we talked about for next clips as the real videos, so you guys should still be able to see those fine.
Yeah, you're going to get a little double dosage of Stay Fly, I think.
Yeah, episode 3 and 4 are going to come out very soon to each other.
And we got the new Discraft Machete review. Please check that out on our YouTube channel.
Just came out.
We're going to have a giveaway going with that. We're going to start doing giveaways on our podcast here, and we're really excited about that. So, sweet.
All right, guys. We're thinking about having Thursdays be our podcast day, so if you guys like that time, let us know in the comments as well. Until next time, guys.
Stay fly.